Welcome back. If you just joined us, this is the press. We're reaching you live from KAFTAN's television studio here in the nation's capital, Abuja. Now we have our guest analyst who will help us analyze on the stories that we will be reading out to you. He is DG of CSO. He is Olumuyiwa Onlede, and he will be talking about analyzing the headlines that we read out to you earlier. So our phone lines are open. You can call in to make your contributions or ask your questions. Remember, turn down the volume of your TV set, and we have only 60 seconds to every caller. All right, good to have you on the show again.
Thank you very much.
All right, now let's talk about the elections. Let's start with the electioneering process, and then the day to the election, and then after the elections. Let's get your thoughts on all that happened, because I know that you're one of the observers. What exactly did you observe that you would like Nigerians to hear directly from you?
Thank you. I think before the election, INEC as a body, the election monitoring board, gave Nigerians the hope that they were on top of the game in everything that has to do with the election. Security, the synergy between them and security agencies, the security of voters, the logistics, and the coordination of the election proper on election day by the ad hoc staffs, and transmission of resource sheets, not electronic transmission of results.
We'll definitely talk about that one later.
Transmission of resource sheets through beavers and uploading same to the server RF. But unfortunately, there were hitches, because most of the polling units that we visited in Kwara State, actually observed in Kwara State, Ilorin, the capital to be precise, and as at 10, 11, 12 o'clock in so many polling units, INEC officials were nowhere to be found.
At 12 noon?
Yes, INEC officials were nowhere to be found, and we think that is not good enough.
Even when elections were supposed to stop at 2:30?
Yes, we think that is not good enough, and it's contrary to the promises that we extracted and the commitment we extracted from INEC before the elections. And up to now, we've not seen a substantial report or a substantial statement, a convincing statement on why there were delays in logistics. And why we are confused is in places where we have two local governments sharing border, like Ilorin East or Ilorin West, and we discovered that in some part of Ilorin East, election has commenced, and in some part of Ilorin West, election was delayed. And these are polling booths that are stone throw to each other. And I don't think it is very possible for...
So did you give any excuse for coming late?
No excuse.
And so what happened? There was no voting, or they had to start late?
When, you know, on election day, they gather in rack. And that is where they share election materials to them, and they have to proceed to their various polling units. And until they get those election materials, they cannot proceed. And that is the only thing we heard from them, that we started coming when we got election materials. I don't think it is the fault of the ad hoc staffs. I think the problem actually emanated from the RAC.
Okay.
And you know, in our country, we are always very strange, or our jobs seems to be very strange to us. What we notice is that we have one vehicle conveying ad hoc staffs of different polling units. For example, if we have polling unit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 10, that means we have one vehicle conveying the whole of the ad hoc staffs together and dropping them at the polling units, which is not supposed to be so. If you are going to merge INEC ad hoc staffs of different polling units, I don't think it should be more than 2, 3, or 3 that are very close to each other.
Close, yes.
But when we have a situation whereby a vehicle is conveying INEC polling officials from 10 various polling units, I think there's going to be delay in the commencement of the election.
So does it actually mean with all of the finances budget that was disbursed in order to ensure that this election goes without hitches? Now you talk about transportation, and then I recall that they had synergy with NURTW and RTN. I know that they also had some synergy with some other associations. So does it actually mean that with all that budget, we still, why exactly do you think that hitches came? Is it like you said, because we Nigerians, we don't know our job?
Yes, we are not always on top of our job. And number two, one thing is for you to have money, another thing is for you to have what to do with the money. To have access to what to do with the money. You can remember vividly that even up to now, we had a very serious fuel scarcity before the election.
Did that have anything to play in this?
I think, I'm not trying to make excuses for INEC, but I think that played a very major role in the logistics problem. Because when we had a briefing, an engagement with the REC in Kwara State before the election, that was Thursday before the election, we raised the question of how, because the buses were already gathered in INEC office, that is the NURTW, they were already gathered in INEC office, and we asked the question about how they were going to get fuel for these vehicles, and the REC actually said they had an agreement with NNPC Retail that they were going to get fuel from NNPC Retail. But unfortunately, before then, I thought it was going to be a very smooth one, because NNPC Retail must have made arrangement for the PMS to be allocated to these buses. But unfortunately, that same day, we saw no activity in NNPC Retail, because we passed through there and we saw that there was no activity in NNPC Retail. And after the election, there was still no activity.
Oh, really?
In NNPC Retail. And when we asked questions, and there was a problem, we think there was a problem with NNPC Retail in Ilorin, that they actually had a fuel that was mixed with water before the election.
Oh, wow.
Before the election. So that must have distorted the arrangement between
them and INEC.
NNPC Retail and INEC in Ilorin.
Okay.
In Ilorin precisely. So I think the problem of logistics was a major problem in the election.
All right. Since you talked about logistics, and then we saw videos of where in Lagos, in Elegushi, in Ekate, we saw places like Anambra, in Bayelsa, and Rivers, we saw violence around there. So what would you tell us with regards to violence or election rigging or ballot snatching? Did you actually envisage any of that in Kwara State?
No. Kwara State was very peaceful. I can categorically tell you that Kwara State was peaceful. And we thought in Ilorin, which is the state capital, based on the fact that the political gladiators in Kwara State are from there, the likes of former governor and the present governor, they are from Ilorin, and we thought, and we categorized Ilorin as flashpoint, whereas we categorize Kwara South as less volatile region. But unfortunately for the people, they conducted themselves in a very orderly manner, and people were allowed to vote according to when the INEC officials arrived, and they were allowed to vote late, and
they had to conclude late.
Yes. And there was no incident of violence in Kwara State, where we monitored.
Let's quickly take this call. Hello, good morning. Good morning, are you there? Hello, are you there? Okay, so like I said, turn down the volume of your TV set before you call so we can hear you and you can also hear us. Now let's talk about voter apathy or the turnout. We saw the massive turnout in other parts, other polling units. How was it for you? Was your polling unit, do you have issues of voter apathy, or you had issues of people? In fact, some people even said in their own polling unit there were over 8,000. Even when INEC said they will not have too many people clustered around a particular polling unit, they have to be disbursed to different ones. So what's it like for
new polling units were created? I don't think we can categorize those new polling units as expressing voter apathy. It depends on the voters register in that particular polling unit, because we have some polling units where we have only 58 registered voters, and before 2 hours they were done with voting, and they were waiting for other voters, prospective voters, to come and cast their ballot. And in some polling units we have a very large number of voters struggling to cast their ballot, and I think nobody was disenfranchised. And when we talk about voter apathy generally in the whole election, I don't think we should look at it in that way. The way we want to see this thing is that the 93 million registered voters and the 87.3 million that collected their PVC does not exist anywhere. That is the way we see it. It doesn't exist anywhere, because we cannot have 26 million voters. 26 million people came out to participate in this election, and you said we have 80-something million people with PVC. So that doesn't correspond. And I think,
where exactly is this your discrepancy coming from? Is it from the electoral umpire?
No, they said 90-something million people registered for PVC. At the end of the day, 87.3 collected their PVC, and we have, if you sum up the total number of those that participated in the election,
nationwide.
Yes, nationwide, 26 point something or so. So the gap is too wide. I think we don't have up to the number of people that collected their PVC that INEC is dishing out to us. We don't have up to that. And I think maybe so many people registered twice, double registration.
Even though INEC said they would definitely check on that.
Yes, they said they will delete. And the REC in Kwara State actually said more than 2 million people nationwide did double registration, and they've been removed from the voters register and the database of INEC. But I still don't believe that we have up to the number of registered voters and the number of people that collected their PVC that INEC is dishing out to us.
Okay, before we go ahead, let me ask you, if you have to rate on one side this election, the whole everything that happened since 5th of February until the winner was announced a few hours ago, let's not say days, few hours ago, if you have to rate all that happened during the elections from scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest, how would you rate all of the activities during the election? Would you actually, because a lot of people have that belief that this election will be the second most fairest, transparent and credible election aside what we had in 1999. So would you actually say that we were able to meet those people, and for those who have that belief, were they able to meet that target? That's one on the side from scale 1 to 10. And then how would you actually rate the electoral umpire, since you are on ground to observe the elections from scale 1 to 10? Would you say they did good? Were they fair? Were they credible enough? Even since we've actually gotten so many reports coming from different people.
From the scale of 1 to 10, I would have 4.
Oh, 4 is poor.
Yes, I would have 4, because they were prepared for itches. You are prepared for what you want to do, but you should also be prepared for things that you think may alter what you want to do. In every process, there must be itches. You must prepare for it, and I think they are not prepared for it. Why we always have people criticize INEC about doing well in standalone elections that comes before presidential election is because they are all focused in one state. They had an election in Osun where beavers was used, negative, sorry, then Osun. The whole of the logistics, the whole of INEC, strength was focused on
one state. So I remember having a conversation.
So now it is the whole of Nigeria.
So I do remember having a conversation with the INEC Commission on our sister program on the conversation, Barrister Festus Okoya. Then he said that even though it is an off-season election, because we're asking him that this is just one out of 36 states, including the FCT. Yes. So it means that all your power, your might, your energy has been fixed in just one state. So are you ready to duplicate this effort in the presidential election? And then they said yes. So are you actually saying that all the power and the energy and the rush they did was just only for one state?
Yes.
They did nothing good in the presidential election that you had to...
They were overwhelmed. They were overwhelmed.
Oh,
they were overwhelmed. In the presidential election, unlike those standalone elections, where they had everything to focus on one state. Now, it has to be held in 36 states, including those standalone states, Ekiti and Osun. Do you understand what I'm saying? They had an election in Osun, and now they went back there to have a presidential election.
So those people that are calling for rerun, former President Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, I hear him say, tell people like Charlie Boy and other people to ensure that you reclaim your mandate, get a rerun if you have to protest and all of that. You have people saying we will protest, we'll reclaim our mandate. Do they have good reason to actually scream?
What are they returning? The statement by Chief Olusegun Obasanjo is quite unfortunate. As another statesman who had conducted elections in this country severally, it's self-serving. Obasanjo I think he was just trying to save himself from what has happened in the election.
How can he save himself?
Because he was partisan. He supported the candidate, and the candidate lost. So he's giving a reason why his candidate lost. He's not giving the reason to Nigerians alone. He's trying to impress the candidate that you lost. Because let me tell you something. The obedient movement is a movement that nobody can disregard.
They used to be regarded as social media movement.
The obedient movement is not anchored on those old politicians like Chief Olusegun Obasanjo. Without him, obedient movement will still be what obedient movement is. It's not an influencer. It's not an influencer. Obedient movement is a movement that is centered around the youth who are very, very angry about misgovernance of yesteryears. Not necessarily this particular government in power, but yesteryears, including his own government. Because so many things that we are experiencing now, the foundation was laid. But unfortunately, then our democracy was nonsense. So we were very careful not to do things that would truncate our democracy, because the military, as at then, had not totally relinquished power to us. So we had to nurture our democracy, and that is why we accepted so many things from the regime of Chief Olusegun Obasanjo.
All right, let's quickly take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
All right, tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
I am Paul calling from Ebonyi State.
All right, Paul from Ebonyi State, your mic is on.
Good morning.
Turn down the volume of your TV set. We can hear you.
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right.
Go ahead. Your mic is on.
Yeah. Please, I want to let... thank you very much. I want to let people know that what Obasanjo is saying is that the disappointment, colossal disappointment from INEC, when they promised that this election will be seen to be transparent, is seeing that they have deceived the whole country. What am I saying? Look at none of the polling stations, polling booths were counted without excess overvoting, without overvoting according to them. Now, according to the Electoral Act, what is overvoting? Just like the man on the studio said, that obedient movement is anchored on youth. They keep on telling us that the youth is the leaders of tomorrow. Now the youth came to go manual. It's deception in the highest order. And again, what Mahmoud Yakubu did was enable him cover up the enormous amount of money spent on INEC. That's why he insisted on calling the result to enable Nigeria to be deceived again, so that they will say, look at it. Are we going to who is going to refund the country of the money we spent?
All right.
I know he did it, but I know the court in the last hope of the people is going to take a necessary action because the data and the whole thing is there on paper.
All right.
So that's it. We have been deceived. We have been raped by Mahmoud Yakubu and his colleagues.
All right, thank you so much, Paul from Ebonyi State. Now, let's talk about what Paul stated with regards to election transmission or transfer, like the Senate president actually said. We saw videos flying around since the results were being collated and rolled out. And then he said that during the electoral, when they brought in the new electoral act, that there was nothing about electronic transmission of result. It was just for you to either scan or snap and then transfer. That's the word he used, transfer the result. So in that regard, result sheet rather. So in that regard, you have Nigerians coming out to say that, did we hear wrong when INEC said they were going to transfer election results electronically, or was it that they said something else and then we are misinterpreting it? What is it for you?
I think Nigerians are not used to reading. The Electoral Act is there, even online, for everybody to see and read. You don't have to be a lawyer to read some clauses in the Constitution or the Electoral Act to understand. And in cases where you don't understand, I don't think there's any Nigerian that does not have a lawyer as a friend, except you live in the villages.
Are you saying that? Are you saying that maybe we should read something else, and then the electoral umpire comes to say something else? Is that what you're implying?
Because if INEC is saying there's going to be electronic transmission of result, then it's nowhere to be found in the Electoral Act. Because what is electronic transmission of result? That means there will be an application in the BVAS where if party A is cost 50, you put 50 as a figure. Then party B 30, party C 100. You now click submit. But when you have to snap a picture or scan a picture and send to a server, that means somebody somewhere must gather together all those pictures, extract the figures there and match them together. Have you seen the difference? If there's electronic transmission of result, that means once from polling unit A, you put party A 50, party C 100, party B 80, it goes straight to the server to hit the server.
But isn't that what Nigerians heard? Other people, or did they hear something different? Because a lot of people have called and then said that the reason
it's not about what you hear, it's all about what is written in the Electoral Act.
Okay, so now if you're a member of the electoral umpire and tell Nigerians, don't worry, it's not going to be business as usual, come out and vote, and then they believe in you, they trust you enough,
what people are saying
and then
now,
they go to the polls. Isn't that deceiving?
Like what Comredino is saying is that the resource sheets are not being uploaded. The resource sheets are not being uploaded. That I agree. But when I say electronic transmission of results, what does that mean? Because if we are transmitting result electronically, once a result is sent from polling unit A, it goes to the server, and the figure that is sent from polling unit B goes to the same server and automatically updates for different political parties. But now somebody must gather the figures in those resource sheets
so that's
and merge them together. That is manual. That is a manual collation of result. It's not.
All right. Hello. Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, sir. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Yeah. My name is John. I'm calling from Kano.
John from Kano State. Go ahead. The floor is open.
Yeah. I'm listening to your guest there, and I don't understand why people in Nigeria are not fearing God again. You will see the truth. It will come out and supporting evil, using all kind of means to support your evil deeds. Before now, ANEC has told the whole world that they are going to transmit this election electronically. That every vote counts, every vote from the polling unit, after the calculation and everything, they will snap and send. Before going to collation, before going out from polling unit, it must be transmitted electronically by the viewers. That is what they promise Nigeria, which motivates the youth that say that they want a new Nigeria. If you can ask this man sitting by you there, he has children. Does he like the way this country is now? Why was he want this country to remain like this, continue like this? We all know, and they all say that the youth are the majority of the voters, and the youth now they say they want a new Nigeria, and then they now went out openly and vote ahead of their children.
All right, thank you so much.
ANEC did not do what he promised Nigeria, and now they are now beating around the bush. They are using all sorts of things to deflect ANEC.
Thank you so much for calling us from Kano.
What?
All right, thank you. Your point is well noted. Go ahead, please. Conclude.
Yes. He said, he just asked whether I love the way the country is being administered. Nobody likes the way the country is being administered. Even when you don't have children, you have yourself, and you are dealing in one area or the other, and you are seeing faults. But I want you to understand that until we start, we engage ourselves in processes, because during in the National Assembly, when the Electoral Act was being passed, I think that is what they were supposed to do. Snapping a resource sheet and sending to a particular server automatically will give room for irregularities. Why is it that people did not fight for the results?
Probably they didn't understand. Just like when the Nigerians were complaining that you say you want change, but you didn't ask what change, what kind of change you want.
They don't understand. But may I understand? Why is it that they don't understand? People should understand. That's what I'm saying. People should understand. They say we are 200 million people, which I doubt, because every figure that is given to us is under scrutiny. So people should understand that once you are snapping a picture and sending, Annabel, it's just as if you are sending your picture on social media.
Well, you won't actually say people should understand, because we are wired differently.
So do you know that your picture can be carried and be merged with somebody else's picture? And you need data analysts to say, oh, this picture is fake.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
Yeah.
Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
I'm calling from Benue. My name is Mr. Martin.
All right, go ahead. Less than 60 seconds. Let's hear you.
Okay. ANEC has lost credibility. That is what I want to say.
All right. Thank you for making it quick and swift. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Are you there?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
My name is Ayini Paul. I'm calling from Cross River.
All right, go ahead. Let's hear you.
Okay, thank you so much. I think I've been calling on this program severally, and on this issue of election, I want to say that I'm totally disappointed, dissatisfied with every electoral process that took place after the Saturday election, because the ANEC decided to work against all the promises they gave to us, that there will be transmission of results directly from the polling unit to RF, and which it did not happen like that.
Now, the manual result that took place last 2019 was the same thing they want to do again. And that was why, because of the assurance, that's what all of us, we as youth, came out to vote. I want to say that INEC should give us the proper result. They should cancel this election and give us the result that are supposed to be transmitted from each of the polling units, so that we cannot know that they are transparent. They want to give us a free and fair election. I'm also begging President Muhammad Buhari that the legacy, the only legacy he is going to leave behind is the legacy of giving us a transparent and credible election.
All right.
In all the election that has been so fraught is this very election, I must tell you.
All right,
because
thank you so much.
See it working. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your contribution. God bless you too. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning, sir. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
I'm calling from Francis.
All right, Francis, go ahead. The mic is on.
Okay. Let me quickly say that INEC has committed a sin. INEC has committed a sin against the Holy Spirit. And the Bible says the sin committed against the Holy Spirit is not forgivable. So that one is well known. First to Sokoye repeatedly, and the INEC chairman told Nigeria, assured Nigeria and informed them that they are going to conduct free, fair, and credible elections, transferring results from polling units to server. That was not done. And then the volume of jubilation.
Hello. All right.
Let me declare that election wasn't conducted here.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thing they have.
All right. Thank you so much for that contribution. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Elder Zion, calling us from Jos. It's good to hear from you, sir.
Thank you. Happy election.
Very well. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Please, I would like the analyst to help us. And, are you hearing me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. To please read out the relevant portion of the Constitution that is on this controversy of transmitting, transferring of the election result. Let him read it. He got us here that it is in the internet. Let him read it for us to hear. Again, please, I want him to tell us the meaning of section 133 A and B in the electoral law and in the Nigerian Constitution, that is on the vote that the candidate will call to qualify him to be president as the LESCO LCD. Among or not, let him clarify us.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so
God
much.
bless you.
God bless you too, Elder Zion from Jos. All right. Go ahead, please.
The first question, I think I'm not clear about the second question, but the first question is...
You talked about the electronic transmission.
Yes,
you said it's already online, so you should clarify it for Nigerians.
From section 60 upward or thereabouts, talks about transmission of results as INEC deem it fit. Have you seen the lacuna as you deem fit? So, where the laws are being made in Nigeria, and those making the laws try to make the law in such a way that there's going to be lacuna. You can see that even when you go to court and your case is meritorious, the court can decide to throw away your case on technical ground. That is lacuna, which is not supposed to be so. You don't make laws to create room for escape.
Are you saying places where you see clauses like shall or may or fit, you should be very careful with such clauses?
Yes, because the question is, they said, okay, there are some places that does not have network. They say, okay, the thing will automatically the snapped result will automatically upload or synchronize itself once it gets to a place where the beavers can access network. That is what they told us. But between the period where you don't have network and when you have network, it's not possible for you to delete what you have put in the beavers and replace it with another one. Those are the questions.
So does it actually mean that those times when in the National Assembly you had people who came out to say that there are insecurity in their own area, so it means that transmissions were mass were down, it means that you could actually telecommunications and network might actually affect this transmission of results? So they're actually talking, are you saying that they're actually talking about scanned results, and they had even telecommunications company coming out to say that no, they are ready to go with these elections with regards to network connections? Are you saying everything they were talking about at that time was all about scanned results, what Nigerians didn't know until now?
I think so. Scan results, synchronization, as we heard in the tribunal in Osun, where they have two reports of the server. The one they gave to the APC, that they went to court with, to tribunal with, and the one they gave to PDP later on. That is the controversy. They have two ANEC reports. We have two ANEC reports in Osun. So those kind of situations must be avoided. I think what the Nigerians should be fighting for now is proper electronic transfer of results. Once you snap the result sheet, the figures recorded for each and every party in that result sheet must be inputted into the beavers.
Are you talking for subsequent elections? So now for people, for political parties, and then for presidential candidates like the PDP, NNPP, LP saying that they are heading to court to retrieve their stolen money, do they have any reason to actually scream?
Yes, everybody has a right. That is part of the process. The process of this election is not concluded until Supreme Court pronounce that somebody is the winner of the election. All right. It's part of the process. They have the right.
All right, let's take this one call before we continue. Hello, good morning. Elder Zion, good morning, sir.
Thank you. Please. The man, thank you very much. Thank you. The man is not answering my question. He is not answering my question.
Okay. Please throw your question again so we can hear you.
Okay. He's not answering my question. My question is, let him read the portion of the electoral law that he relates to transfer of votes or transmission. Let him read it clear.
Okay.
So that we know.
All right.
Let him read it. We don't want to argue with him. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Elder Zion. I'm sure he must have heard you this time. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
This is Amos calling from Jos.
Amos from Jos. Go ahead. In less than 60 seconds, let's hear you.
Hello?
Go ahead, Amos. Your time starts now.
You know, the Nigeria, we have not ever forget INEC. Nigeria will never forget INEC. Hello, are you getting me?
Go ahead. We can hear you. Okay, I think I might have to let you go. You're concentrating on your TV and something else and then trying to talk to us. All right. Elder Zion says he wants you to tell us that they're not ready to argue. Well, tell us the portion of the Electoral Act that talks about transmission or no transmission of result.
I don't know precisely, but section 60 and thereabout talks about sending the result from each and every polling unit. That is the resource sheet from each and every polling unit to a particular server. And if you check INEC resource server, you can actually check your own polling unit, where you voted or where you observe, and compare the results with what INEC has actually uploaded. There's a difference between upload and transmission. Do you understand what I'm saying? There's upload, there's transmission. What is uploaded can be verified in the result portal. And you have to look at it from this way. From every polling unit, do we have the figures in the portal? Do we have figures or we have pictures? But we were too anxious for this election, and people did not ask National Assembly. You know, it took a lot of argument for National Assembly to accept even this portion of transferring resource sheets from uploading resource sheet from each and every polling unit to INEC server. It took a very long argument in the National Assembly, and eventually, because I remember Senator Alim Dume said there was no network in his senatorial in his constituency, most places in his senatorial district, and that would not work. And they accused some people of trying to create an enabling environment for INEC server to be hacked so that they can change the result as it comes. And again, I don't know how true it is that there was a report from INEC even after this election that their server, there was an attempt on their server to be hacked for 162 times. I don't know how true, but that is why I said INEC is ill-prepared, because if you have a server, you must not even be electoral umpire. If you have a server, you must be prepared to secure your portal or your server from external intruders. So I think they were not prepared for it, and if you are giving them an excuse that people were trying to hack your server, that is not good enough, and Nigerians will not accept that, because you have enough money to secure your facility.
All right, you already know about that, but let's see this clause that says in clause 52 subsection 2, subject to section 63 of the bill, voting, that's before
the electoral act.
Yes, that's the electoral act. Voting at an election and transmission of results under this bill shall be in accordance with the procedure determined by the commission, which may include electronic voting. The 63 subsection.
Electronic voting, or?
Yes, electronic voting, which may include electronic voting.
Okay.
The 63(5) says the presiding officer shall transfer the result, including total number of accredited voters and the result of the ballot, in a manner as prescribed by the commission. A political party seeking to nominate candidate for elections may, under this bill act, shall hold direct primaries, and that's actually not
in a manner that is determined by
the commission.
By the commission. That is
but then the commission now came to say that we are transmitting results electronically.
Yes, that is where they disappointed Nigerians. No. If you say electronically, and you refuse to transmit the result electronically, then you have disappointed Nigerians. That's
what we're saying. That they said they're going to transmit results electronically, and then all of a sudden we don't see it happening. Then you have the Senate President come out to say that it is scanned or pictured result that Nigerians should be expecting. So who then is deceiving Nigerians here?
INEC, of course. INEC.
Hello, good morning. Good morning. Okay, I think he actually thinks he's calling the Hausa station. Let me let you go. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, sir. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
I'm calling from Abuja. My name is Emmanuel.
All right, Emmanuel from Abuja. Go ahead.
Yes. So, this confusion I'm hearing as I was talking about, I'm watching this thing. What these ideas have done to Nigeria, they are just creating a big story that in this country, Nigeria youth and Nigeria, everybody in the whole Nigeria, they will never forget what the INES have done. All the things they have promised Nigeria, that's what they have done to us. Anything we have to do in this country, we just to pray for God to help us. That is my contribution. But the INES, let them know that what they promised Nigeria, that's not what they are doing. There is God in this country.
All right.
I have to say.
Thank you so much. There is God. Oh. All right, let's conclude on this. Now, give us your landing thoughts with regards to all that we've talked about, and then President-elect has been chosen, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and then he says that he seeks Atiku Obi others support for Greater Nigeria, and then on the flip side has the Labour Party and then PDP, NNPP and others. They said they're going to court. So should Nigerians just go ahead with accepting and working with the new administration who has actually offered the olive branch, or should they actually seek a rerun or get their mandates like they're calling?
No. I think they should seek redress in the court, because we have two ways tribunal when it comes to presidential election. It starts from the appeal court to the Supreme Court. Then I think it is their right within the purview of the law for them to seek redress there, so that all these things that we are talking about, learned judges will interpret.
But then you recall that before now we were still having the issues of the Naira redesign that was taken to the Supreme Court, and then the Supreme Court gave a judgment, the President gives another judgment, the CBN gives another judgment, and then you also recall the case of the senatorial elections, Ahmed Lawan, who was the Supreme Court gave one judgment, and then also the one of Godswill Akpabio. And then some Nigerians will say, is the
on top of the issue of Naira redesign, the Supreme Court has not given any judgment. They only gave an order, and the federal government did otherwise.
And then the federal government gave an order. That's what I'm saying. So it's the court still the last hope of the common man in this regard.
We don't have any choice than to resort to the court when we are aggrieved. That is the only constitutional means, because according to what international communities are agitating, anybody that disrupts electoral process will be placed on visa ban, and that includes those that foment trouble before, during, and after election.
Does that also include those that have immunity clause?
When definitely they will leave, the immunity will be eroded after they leave office, and then they will face whatever law is. And those that have immunity only have immunity in Nigeria. They don't have immunity outside this country. We've seen situations where governors were arrested in foreign countries and kept there. They had to find a way to escape to this country. Your immunity only covers you in your country, not outside the country. So America can decide to slam visa ban on anybody and their families.
All right. Let's take this one last call. Hello, good morning. Okay, thank God he actually left because I was trying to run away. Hello. All right, thank you so much for your time with us, Olumuyiwa Onlede. It's been a wonderful time talking to you. And my phone keeps buzzing. They would not let me go. Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. All right, tell us your name and where you're calling us from very quickly.
Good morning.
We can hear you.
Yeah, I am Somadina from State.
All right, Somadina, go ahead. In 30 seconds, let's hear you.
When the Nigerian government, one is when you bought something of the quality and the thing refuses to work, what should be done? It should be returned of money. Now that the INEC told us that they to conduct credible election and it is not credible, they should make Nigerians have a price for their money by reconducting. Two, now the president election should not celebrate because the foundation of that election was made on deception. So let me not we're not celebrating with him because of that. That foundation is poorly laid, and of course the gain of this country is that we keep on deceiving ourselves in every matter.
All right.
The president of not celebrate now because the foundation of the house is poorly laid.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's actually my last call for today. Thank you so much, Olumuyiwa Onlede, Executive Director, Citizens Awareness Against Corruption and Social Vices Initiative. It's been a wonderful time having this talk with you.
It's a pleasure.
Great. All right, let's go straight to social media. That's where we end this segment of the show. I'm so sorry I can't take your calls anymore. That's all we have for that package as we go straight to other stories. Social media is buzzing, and there's this particular video of House of Reps Majority Leader Al-Hassan Adodugwa remanded in prison for alleged murder and arson and other crimes on election day. Let's take that video, take some more before we leave your screen.
Nigeria good, what are the five for Germany? You know the tire now. 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 If Nigeria good, what are the five for Germany? You know the tire now. You know the tire now. You know the tire now.
After this election, I don't realize that we are in a country of no country. Nigeria, election, anybody when they come and see a new president,
I'm actually wondering why Victor Swago is actually mocking his countrymen and mocking Nigerians, saying, "Ooh, we all made this together." Thank you so much for tuning in. To all those who called in to make their contributions, thank you so much. We do not take it for granted at all. We appreciate you a great deal. Keep watching KAFTAN TV as we have so many things and so many programs lined up after now. Thank you for listening and tuning in. My name remains Annabel Orji. Like I always say, whatever you do, please stay safe out there. The country is at the moment in a tension period. Be very careful what you say and what you do. And if you know you cannot say the right thing or do the right thing, please just stay away from trouble. Like I said, see no evil, say no evil, hear no evil. Bye for now.